Hey, this is Nick from Remedy667.com, the best place on the internet for horror fonts. And today is Horror Font Friday. Let me just lift my illustrator up here a little bit. You heard it here first. All right, so today we are playing with this bit of lettering. It's really, really rough. I took a photo. It did not come out the best. This is from a book called The Forest Fire Mystery. One of them old hardcovers you see at your grandma's house. But I actually took this from the inside of the book, which is cyan ink on this yellowed paper, and not so great. Very rough around the edges. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it, Command-Shift-G, just to ungroup everything. I'm going to pull these out and get rid of all these dots that came from the paper. You can see everything's connected. Like a one big ligature fire. Probably could have cleaned this up in Photoshop a little bit. You know what? We're going to do that right now. Alright, so we totally just redid the whole thing. You can see I just took a new photo. And this is from the front cover. I think it's going to work a little bit better. It's also got a bunch of lines in it that I probably will do away with for this. Just for what we're doing with it today. And they're going to cause all sorts of mess with extra dots anyway. So I'm going to use Pathfinder to close these up. Sturry. Well, we've already got the Y. So that can go. Cut that like that. I'm gonna make the T and this R. Is going to be part of it, but I'm gonna copy that. Watch this. Cut that, put it in the front, highlight it again, and knock it out. That way we get to keep that part of the R. This is a very messy mess that we have decided to take on here today. Erase that there. I got a Command-Shift-G to ungroup those. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of messy dots. All right. R, S, T. Look at how beautiful this lettering is. All right. F. I already have an E as well. I think the O is the only thing I really need at this point that I don't have yet. All right, so this actually didn't have a lot. Copy. Didn't have a lot for me to work with. So delete that. All right. EFMO. All right, so this is what we have for letters. I'm going to pull them down here away from everything else, all those distractions. And it looks like there's some interesting things going on in here. There's the spurs. And there is also the I guess you would call them like cuts or like cut-ins. They always remind me of the papyrus font. These like chips. I guess they're like a throwback to woodcuts in my mind. Cut that there. Go around. Hey Siri, how much time's left on the timer? I know you heard me. No. Hey Siri, how much time is left on the timer? Three minutes. That ain't gonna happen in 3 minutes. I remember having an alternate E up here. There's one of them now. We're going to use that to make our L. I think that would be good. Zoomed out too far. You see when you zoom out too far like that, it smooths it. Photoshop adds some sort of smoothing to your brush, and I don't actually want that. Here I'm going to cut this and go up, up, and like that. This one, I'm going to select as much of that as I can and rotate from the top. I know the bottom ended up looking dumb when I did that, but what are you gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fix it like that, and I'm gonna squeeze it in a little bit because I feel like the N should be a little bit smaller than the M. Right now I'm working on the H. And I'm doing that because I currently have an N, obviously, and it just seemed like a good natural progression, especially with the I being right there. Whoops, I'm gonna drag this way in. I feel like normally you kind of want your H to be the same width as your N. Like that's a good rule of thumb. But I feel like with this font, things are a little off. Like they don't necessarily matter so much. Like I'm going to make this the J. Don't worry, it's not going to be exactly like this. Some things are going to need reverse. Like this, one of the rules is it comes out way more on the left than on the right. So we're going to fix that. And we're actually going to bring this swoop up a little bit and have it go out a little bit more. Like that. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 more minutes. That seems like enough.
10 minutes starting now.
Sure, thank you. Let's go ahead and make the C. We have an S and we have an O. Now, this is kind of fun. Normally I'd make a C from one or the other. Maybe, I don't know. If you watch my videos, you probably actually know better than I do. Because a lot of times, whoops, I feel like what I actually do when I do these is I just kind of ramble and I build letters. And I find that to be fun. I don't view any of these as like the end all be all of what a final like font would be. These are a lot more like practice drawing letters is what this is. So it's going to be my C. It's also going to be my D. Will it? I think this needs to curve up a little bit. That way. And then askew itself. Because I feel like it was a little bit off. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna group that all together as a letter and cut in. Same here. You're gonna cut away from that. Take this stem all the way up. Now see, these E's are a little too straight on for me, so I'm going to add a little bit of curvature there. Even this one, even though that was part of the C. There I go, closing programs out with my quick keys. Group that. C, D is going to be, see a little mush there. The F is correct. The G is definitely in effect. With the H, this is going to turn around. And this is going to go up and cut in right here. So this is going to be my G. I think I need this piece just to come down a little bit, and this rounded off one to disappear a little bit more. And that can actually go up now and over. Ghosts is something I can now write. What do I need now? A, B, K, U. Hey, let's make a U, huh? We'll take our J. Sorry, I got a monitor in front of a monitor that I'm looking at, and it so sometimes you see me stretching my head around or up, trying to see, and my chair squeaks. Just a mess over here, falling apart. All right, so that's gonna get low. And this is going to, actually that's gonna sit just like that. I think that looks great. All right, so I needed a K, which is pretty cool because I have a Y and an R, which are not necessarily two ingredients for making a K, but they're two ingredients to making a K a lot easier, I will say. So round that side off. Group that together. Hey Siri, how much time's left on the clock?
There's a timer with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left.
Holy moly. Well, let's build our A from our H. By just messing with this skew a little bit. I have no idea what I hit there. These are going to come in pretty close. And if your crossbar now looks completely messed up, it should be. Because the crossbar on the A should actually be lower than the one on the H. So, it's a pretty good looking A. I think I'm going to use my D and my P to build a B. Cutting these up. Cut. These. Chop that around. This is going to get thicker. And this is going to go out a little bit more. And this is also going to get a little bit thicker. Group that. B looks terrible. Make it a little short. I wish it was a little bit chubbier, for lack of a better word. Well, I guess bolder is probably a better word. We'll get ready the ingredients for the Z and the X and the W and the V. All right. Hey Siri, how much time do we have left on the timer now? Probably like 2 minutes.
There's a timer with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left.
Yeah. I did not expect to be that close in my guess. But let's bring it home. All right. So that's going to thicken up that side of the W, and I like it. I will take that all day to the bank. And I'm going to group that together. This has a awkward double that I'm going to fix by doing that. And rotate that out a little bit. Whoops. Why? All right. We are going to group this. I'm going to cut that there. I'm going to take this for the Z and for that side of the Z. Cut through the middle. Oh my gosh, we're in like the final minute. It's all right because I actually set it so that I would have extra time on my break. So we will have time to finish this. Oh, that looks so bad, but so good. I feel like I kind of like that, sticking up like that, but no. Oh, and I lose again. It just wasn't in the cards for us today to draw a font fast enough, or I guess to draw an alphabet fast enough that would be totally worthy. Now, this is pretty fun to think about how far removed this actually got from our original reference material. And this happens sometimes, and I actually get way more excited when I go off key from my reference material. Again, is this. I like it when I go off from the reference material because it makes me feel like I'm, I don't know, better at making stuff up, I guess. But so here's our alphabet of the week. Let me know if I missed anything. I hope not. And I'm Nick from Remedy 667. I will see you next week. This has been the Forest Fire Mystery for Horror Font Friday. See you next week.